Hey you guys, this is Jess with Sourceful Journey, back with another video. So this video for today is actually going to be my last video for today. I wanted to focus on the idea of why one should not aim to fit in, because after all, you are authentic for a reason. You are an original for a reason. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and just jump right in. Don't aim to fit in, because after all, we are all custom made for a reason, especially when it comes to, those of us who have calling on our life, God's chosen. We are all custom made for a reason because we all have a certain task, a certain mission, a certain calling on our life that we have to uphold, that we have to adhere to. And we're created to be uniquely different for a reason. Don't try to hide it. Don't try to dim your light just to appease others, just to try to fit in. Imagine if we lived in a world where people actually did just that, even the chosen, right? Let's say we were all on one accord, moving robotically the same way, dressed the same way, talk the same way. How dull of an existence would that be? I don't know about you, but I love being around people who are truly themselves, who are in love with who they are and understand that they are different for a reason. I love those who are not ashamed of going against the grain. Those who like to challenge the society norms, but to do it with sensibility, not anything that's going to lead to them getting into trouble or anything like that. Let me be clear about that. I think there's a limit when it comes to challenging the norms. You should be able to live carefree, but do so in a way where it doesn't hurt others or it's not a crime. Let's be clear. But I just love those who can truly be authentically themselves and love it, where you can see that they genuinely do love it. Because at the end of the day, you are the only person, you are the only spirit that's running this vessel, right? At the end of the day, you are the one that has to deal with this being when you go home and you get ready to go to bed at night. You are the one who has to deal with keeping this engine running when it comes to making sure you get your proper vitamins in, your proper nutrients in, when you're getting your daily workout, whether it's something as simple as walking or, maybe lifting weights. The point I'm trying to drive home here is that you should never be concerned about what the next man thinks when it comes to you. You need to be concerned about you when it comes to being you. It took me a while to get to that point, that mindset, that way of thinking. Because as I mentioned in the previous video, especially with my ex, I had that outlook to some degree, but a good percentage of it was because I was always so concerned about appeasing him. As most people who are in relationships tend to do. As I mentioned before in a previous video, even for some of us who do work a full-time job and we have our car and we take care of bills and things like that, we share those things with our partners. So even with having our own sense of stability, our own sense of support, we still find ourselves in some shape, form, or fashion being codependent on one another, which is actually not a good thing. I can say, honestly, after breaking it off with him and really, finding self again, but at a much higher level, much stronger level, I can honestly say that in doing so, it definitely opened up a lot of doors for me. It definitely opened up a lot of things in terms of my thought process on being able to self-sustain, depending on self, and of course God, and God, source, our angel team. but I'm talking about in terms of the vessel, not depending on man or another being to help me sustain, but truly depending on self and my spiritual team and helping me to get through. It helps you to be grounded and to learn to use the other resources. You know, of course, being more connected to source, to God, rather than being dependent on man. It's a beautiful thing when you come to the realization that that's truly all you need to do. And that having another partner to share this journey with is a blessing within itself, but it's not one that is required. You know, it's not one that you have to sign up to do or take on if you truly don't want to. Not only that, but have you guys noticed that when one truly chooses to be authentically them, for some reason, that tends to draw in others to you? Have you ever thought about the reason why that might be? Like, why does it tend to draw in such crowds of people, both good and bad? Things that make you say, A lot of times you draw in people who are very much aligned with like your soul tribe. But you also can draw in those who are definitely not. Maybe a lot of those who have hidden issues, ego issues they need to work on. And in some shape, form, or fashion, you being authentically you and not trying to fit in to the crowd, it sends off some type of alarm to them. It may draw them in some good way or another. I like to think it's in a good way because maybe they may have such a huge ego. And in some way, you being who you are can help them to kind of break out of that. I'll use myself as an example for this part. Many times I've encountered this, both past and present. Dealing with the individuals I currently work with now. There's one young lady, well, not the age matters, but she's actually older than me, who for some reason, she claims to be spiritual. You know, she claims to be religious. But for some reason, my aura, it disturbs her. I think honestly what it is that it's something within myself that wakes up something within her that she hasn't addressed yet. I mean, alongside the fact, you know, due to my background, as far as we're talking about with what's on the resume, I'm pretty sure it would trump whatever she got going on in terms of her resume. I'm pretty sure of that. I don't even have to look at it. But let's just say I've gotten wind of it. I know what I know. Even with that being said, as far as my existence, my energy, and us being in the same space, for some reason she feels irritated. A lot of it has to do with the fact that I tend to be one that doesn't seek to fit into the crowd. I often use an analogy, and I mentioned this in a previous video, being more so like a rolling stone. Meaning to feel like I am actually like important, or to feel like I have a sense of meaning of being in this world. I don't seek outside support to validate that. I don't need to seek outside validation to have a keen understanding of why I'm meant to be here, right? Or why I deserve to be in that workspace just as everyone else. They tend to love to roll around in cliques, do a lot of gossiping. I talked about this in a previous video also, about being predictably unpredictable. I don't know if you guys just saw that, just a moment ago, that flew by on my screen. I just saw it. But you know, I mentioned about being predictably unpredictable. You know, not really letting people know what your next move, because whatever move that may be, you want to make sure it's your best move. That's for sure. What makes it even more funny is that when I notice that she's like this, whenever she comes around me, I'll ask her, you know, so Jane, how's your day going so far? You good? You know, I think that triggers her. And I love it because it lets me know, I'm letting you know, I can see that you're bothered by me. That's something you need to work on. Maybe you need to have a talk with God about that. But I'm letting her know at the same time, baby, I'm built for this. Your little antics, your little attitude doesn't faze me one bit. See, when you're more secure within self and you know who you are and why you're here, all that other outside noise is non-existent. And I think, honestly, that's what eats her alive. And to be quite honest with you, I love every minute of it. But I like to always say to those individuals who may be that type of person to other individuals, whether it be at home or at work, if you're that type of individual who seems to get easily irritated with the presence of someone else and they have not done anything to you at all, but stay clear away from you, you have to ask yourself, why is that? What is it within that individual that's waking up something within yourself that you haven't addressed yet? Because let's be honest, that's exactly what it is. And also, when it comes to interacting with whoever that individual may be careful with how you do so, because if you approach it in the wrong way, you just might get ate. What are you guys' thoughts about that? Again, why one should really truly aim not to fit in, but just truly be authentically them. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, or you can also continue to message me on the other platforms as well. Email, I read the emails also, so definitely continue to do so. Consultations are actually pretty booked. I do have like at least 2 or 3 more spots for Saturday for this week, but other than that, let me know what you guys think. I would like to hear your thoughts about it, or name a time where you've encountered this, whether it may be at home, at church, at work, you name it. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts about it. So yeah, without saying too much else, I'm definitely seeing you guys with love and light, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great one, you guys.